We're at Sha Tin on Sunday for another round of the Summer Series. Paul Lally's here with the selections for the 11 races. We're on the turf, A-course rail position, and the first gets underway at 4 o'clock. Aurora Patches placed 2 from 3 course and distance. Moon Rocket won over the 1,000 2 starts ago. Bowser, crossover noseband off. Visor goes on. The 6, the 7 and the 8 all on debut. Appealing City, cheek pieces, crossover noseband off. Tongue tie back on. Kaying Resilience, pacifiers with cows off. Blinkers on. Santorini visor off and the blinkers go back on. Paul, with joint leaders here, Lightness of Music and Kaying Resilience.
Yeah, look, Lightness of Music's won 2 of his 3 trials and shown really good speed in those. So I think he can get to the rail. Kaying Resilience likes to go forward in his racing. Aurora Patch has got the 10-pound claim, so it's going to go forward, no doubt. Kaying Warrior, another one, can go forward. Blue Baron was forward for his 1,000-metre race last start. A great looking, one of the debutants. Another one who's shown a bit of speed in his trials.
Straight to Tom we go with the trainer of one of those first starters, Lightness of Music. It's Chris So.
Chris, first race Sunday, Lightness of Music. He's on debut, 3 trials. He's looked pretty talented, this horse.
Yes, that's why, I put that on because he have many choice. So, the first trial in Happy Valley is quite impressed. So, it's a PBG, and the trial in Happy Valley, I think, is a bit difficult for the new horse, but he got a lot of speed, and easy come home, and totally he got 3 trial, and two winners and 1 third or something like that. I think he's got a bit of ability.
He came from the O'Sullivan Scott stable in New Zealand. How's he strengthened up and matured since he's arrived here?
Yes, I think he's got a well prepared work in there, and the horse is ready to do his job in Hong Kong. So that's why like what I say, the first trial already put that on, let him feel the horse. Yeah, and the first trial maybe he's a bit keen, but I hope he will go in relax in the race and hit the line strong.
You must have been delighted with barrier 13 first up down the straight 1,000.
Yes. I think is for him. Is better. Yeah, I think last mistake. If he run the band, I think maybe the new horse is not suit. I think it's a more 1,000. So I spoke to that. Maybe put in the 1,000 straight is more easy.
You've unleashed some nice PPGs this season that have been able to win in their first or second starts. You think this horse can run well and go close at the weekend?
Of course, I want to, but let's see. Yeah, because he got a good draw, he got a lot of speed, and we'll see. I hope he can bring us more winner.
That is Chris So on Lightness of Music. Paul, our first replay features Perfect General at Happy Valley last time. This was over the 1,200 metres. He's had a trial since then where he led up. Comes to the 1,000 metres here at Sha Tin for the second time.
Yeah, look, he was a little bit disappointing on his first start. He's had a few runs since then now. Most of his runs recently have been at Happy Valley. He's had the 6. Look, he ran on nicely enough here. He's drawn barrier 1, so he has drawn the wrong side. I didn't include him in the end. I think it's quite a strong race, this one.
What about Kaying Resilience? Here he is running third. He's been leading up. This race was over the 1,200 metres, so drops back to the 1,000. Blinkers go on for the first time. He's got the pacifiers on here as he turns for home. Yeah, look, I thought he ran 2 starts going the all-weather and he went to the front, just faded late. The blinkers should probably help him. Another one that's drawn a little bit awkwardly in 5 down the straight, but I think he can get across and get outside Lightness of Music. Again, he was on the cusp, but didn't quite make it in for me. Couple of Kayings in the race. That's Resilience down there on the inside. So that is a lead up to the first. We heard from Chris So. Does he figure in your numbers, that first starter?
Yeah, I think he can win this race. I don't think it's overly strong, and he's won 2 of his 3 trials. He's on top. Moon Rocket, he's only had the 3 starts. He's already won 1 of them in a 4th and a close-up 5th behind Chevelle Valiant last start. He likes the straight 1,000. Blue Baron, it was a better run from him last time down the straight. And then Aurora Patch has got the luxury of the 10-pound claim from barrier 11. Can be a little bit headstrong, though, so we'll see how he goes in the race. 8, 2, 13 and 1.
It's another win in the first race for Chris So. He racks up plenty of first race winners. Paul has Lightness of Music with Zach Burton on board, taking the opener. And And race number 2 now. The second race is a distance event and it is a Class 5 over the 2,000 metres with Harker Radiance and Escape Route both on the class drop. Storm Runner placed over 2,200 metres last time. Leather Master's in good form. We've got Supreme Winner with the cheek pieces off, the Shadow Roll going on. Tradition, cheek pieces off, blinkers re-added, and on the lash, pacifiers with cowls, crossover noseband both dispensed with, and the blinkers have been re-added, Paul, with Golden Fairy leading here.
He likes to lead. This is his go. He's drawn low as well. Supreme Winner's got the claim. He'll be up there. Colourful Baron is drawn well. He's going to get a good run. Harker Radiance is form line just going backwards a bit at the moment. He's got a wide draw into that first bend. Storm Runner should get himself into a nice enough position. Leather Master's won 2 of his last 3, and Escape Route's the best rated horse in the race. Will probably go back from his draw.
Leather Master leads them home in the first replay, and he's certainly found some form that has been at Happy Valley. It has been 2,200 metres. He's come up with barrier number 10. It's only 100 and a bit metres run into the first turn from the 2,000 metre start, but has overcome those wide draws at Happy Valley.
He has, and he's a horse in sort of career best form for him at the moment. He's gone 10. I think he's going to have to go back. So I didn't mind Colourful Baron's running this, and he's drawn barrier number 4. He's won twice, Colourful Baron, and they're both off a rating of 30, and he is rated here at 31. So look, he's in within that zone to win, I thought.
Colourful Baron. On to the Chungfa trials and Escape Route here. Hugh Bowman, John Size. He's had 2 trials since we've last seen him. He raced wide last time. Have you liked what you've seen at the trials?
Yeah, I think he's a major player in this race. One of the big things with him is he's down in grade. He's never been in this grade before, Class 5. He's obviously the best rated horse in this race. He's won a lot higher grades, Escape Route. He's a 4-time winner. Is this horse. So coming down here into Class 5 for the first time, he's going to get his chance. Now, in saying that, the little negative is the draw. He's got barrier 13.
And Strongest Boy, we've got Fortune Boy going around later, both in the same colours, but Strongest Boy, the Class 5. Had one of the apprentices on this morning, so would have carried no weight. Does make some late ground, and the trial far too short at 1,200.
Yeah, that's what he does. He gets back, he makes up ground. Now, he's hard to catch. He's only a 1-time winner from his 33 starts. And that win was at Happy Valley. I mean, his Sha Tin record, 17 goes for only 3/3. Leaves a little bit to be desired for me.
Wait till he gets back to Happy Valley. Strongest Boy runs down the outside in that replay at Chungfa. On the ratings, though, is it Colourful Baron?
Yeah, I'm going to put him in. Look, he's at a winning rating, and he's in form with a low draw. So that's why I put him in just in front of Escape Route, because Escape Route's drawn that barrier 13. Leather Master's the in-form horse, and Golden Fairy, he's the leader. He's going to be out of all sorts of trouble, in front. So he'll be able to give a good sight there, I think, from a low draw. 8, 2, 4 and 13.
Paul hunting some value in the Class 5 race 2 with Colourful Baron for Matthew Chadwick and Douglas White. The preview for race number 3 is up right about now. This is a Class 4 race and it's over the 1,200 metres with a number on the class drop at the top of the book, including Igor Stravinsky. Lopan Spirit's drawn a gate. He comes up with barrier 1. Champion Instinct has the tongue tie going on. Awesome Treasure, extra £5 for a senior rider. Golden Tronic Mighty's won his last 2. The 6, the 7, the 8 all make their debuts. Better draw for Lucky McQueen. Young Legacy has his first start. All's well missed a run on the 4th of June with a lame left 4, and he comes to Sha Tin for the first time here, Paul, with Circuit Victory with a very lightweight leading.
Yeah, I think he can lead. And look, Lopan Spirit, as you say, he's finally got a barrier draw, barrier 1. Look for his record, 13, 9, 11, 10, 12 at his last 5 starts. And he can go forward. When he did win his race, he led. Awesome Treasure, another one that can go forward. Champion Instinct likes to go forward. Lightning Arrow showed a little bit of pace in his trials. Igor Stravinsky on the downgrade. Argento Ocean, another one that can go forward. The big horse, Golden Tronic Mighty's won his last 2. I think he's going to have to go back. And the other one, Golden Brilliant, back there with Radiant Swift.
He's in good form, Golden Tronic Mighty. He goes up an extra £7 for this win, Paul, but he's such a big animal. Maybe the impulse won't be so much of a drama for him. At Awesome Treasure, this is the grade where he does race best in. Yeah, the good thing with Golden Tronic Mighty is he stays in the grade. So he's still here. He's got to carry 131 now. But look, the horse is in, as you say, really good form at the moment. He's really found his mark here in Hong Kong. And it was a strong win from him.
So look, he's definitely, again, one of the major players in the race for me. And with it being a big horse, drawing 9, I think it's going to be too much of an inconvenience because he'll get that good galloping room.
It's Invincible Ibis running on into a placing. He runs in a later race, so we can get a guide from that one as a form guide, perhaps. What about Lucky McQueen? Had trialled well and then had this wide draw on debut. He did have some 3-wide cover, but we'll have to do no work to find a spot this week.
Yeah, look, I think he's improved since this run. He's had a trial since on the all-weather. Now, he'd never trialled on the all-weather, and it was just an okay trial. You wouldn't get excited about the trial, but he seems to do all his best work on the turf. It was a really good run from him here, so he looks tough to beat. I mean, Blazing Wukong that won this race, he's going to be one of the favourites coming up in a stronger race.
That's that replay. And one of the first starters to look at now, Lightning Arrow is the one we're going to focus on. He's had a total of 7 trials. This is his most recent one, where he beats Conspiracy Witness up at Chung Fa. He got a bit warm across the breastplate this morning.
He did. We'll keep an eye on him on race day as well. Look, he's got barrier number 4, so that's what I said. He's going to get himself into a good position, so he'll get his opportunity. Now, he was pushed out a little bit to win this trial, so that all the cobwebs would have been gone out of him. He's had 7 trials, so plenty of time to be educated, and he was eased up on the line as well. So, look, it wasn't a bad trial. I'm happy just to watch on his debut, but he's one of those horses I think will probably be in the market.
He's not going in the top 4, but who is not missing out on the top 4?
Going to go with Lucky McQueen. I think he can win this race off the back of that 5th on debut. Golden Tronic Mighty's won his last 2. Lopan Spirit with a good barrier draw. Circuit Victory out in front with no weight on his back. Could be hard to peg back. 9, 5, 2 and 14.
There it is, race number 3, all previewed, the first leg of the early treble. Here it is, race number 4. It's time to look at this particular event right now. And this race is a Class 4 and it's over 1,600 metres. Mr. Dapper's a last start winner, carries an extra £7. Bryce Inheritance is a 2-time course and distance winner. California Banner hasn't been seen since November last year. Cheek pieces off, blinkers first time. Beauty Live raced wide last start. Gale Saga has the blinkers off. Wide draw again for Dragon Sunrise. Fight Time and Pearl of Pangs are racing pretty consistently, both off placings from their last outings, with Mr. Dapper leading Paul from the old boy Red Majesty. Yeah,
I think he can go and put some pace on. We normally see him in Happy Valley, Red Majesty, so he's making a rare excursion here too. Sha Tin, Fight Time and no weight on his back, should get a good run, as will Pearl of Pangs. Jolly Jumper might just be wide. Beauty Live was wide last start. He'll need to get some cover there, I think. Arden will get back from his draw. Fortune Boy as well. Gale Saga from barrier 14 might have to go all the way back with the grey horse there, Dragon Sunrise.
Here is Mr. Dapper winning last time. He's had a maintenance trial since then, as David Eustace tends to do between races when there's a little bit of a gap. Fight Time remains in this grade, Paul, and he runs off another very light weight this week.
Yeah, so he's definitely going to get his chance once again. Do like Mr. Dapper, though. He seems to have improved a lot. He's won 2 of his last 4 starts. He's only won 3 in total from 21. So he's another one that's the change of scenery's really helped Mr. Dapper. I like the way he galloped away here. There's not really too many leaders except for Red Majesty in the race. He can get that lovely run, and I think he can win again.
Wrote a new Page, who's run 4th or 5th there, has come out of that race and won since. Now, his Fortune Boy, there's a few winners come out of this race also, including, once again, Wrote a New Page, who's about to clear some traffic. And the trial since from this horse was very, very good. Yeah,
it was good. Look, he's the main danger to Mr. Dapper. I see these two as a Quinella. Took a while to get out, Fortune Boy, but once he got into the clear, he flattened out and he ran away for a really nice win. So, look, he's quite progressive, this one. There's definitely another win in him shortly. As you say, Wrote a New Page has come in and won the horse that's coming down the outside. So you can probably take a line through him with both those 2 first runners, because he's run against Mr. Dapper as well.
And he's in at Happy Valley on Wednesday night too. Is Wrote a New Page, who won at the Valley after that race. Pearl of Pangs runs 3rd here. There's been times where he's been backed a number of occasions, and here he is just buried on the rail. He ends up running 3rd at his first start at 1,600 metres.
Yeah, look, he was off a 41 rating, so they've dropped him down a point after this. So he's now at 40, so he's actually eligible for Class 5, Pearl of Pangs. He should get a good run back against the rail. He finished off this race nicely. If he comes down to Class 5, it looks a really good thing down there. So we'll see what he does here in Class 4. Just managed to get the bob in there for third, didn't he?
He did, but Mr. Dapper does it again.
Well, it's between 1 and 4. Look, but those are my Quinella in the race. I did go for him in the end over Fortune Boy. I don't think there's too much between them. Now, a couple of big prices, Arden and Dragon Sunrise. If they do go fast in front with Red Majesty there, then the other two that can be running on quite strongly. Arden didn't get too much clear running last time. He's draw barrier number 2. And then Dragon Sunrise, best run from him when he ran 5th at his last start. 1, 4, 12 and 11.
Paul with Mr. Dapper to make it back-to-back victories by taking race number 4. This is a good race. Race number 5. There's plenty of up-and-coming, well-credentialed horses going around here, and it's a Class 4 and it's over 1,200 metres. Blazing Wind is on the class drop. He adds interest to the field because he does race well in this grade. Blazing Wukong, extra £9 for his last start win. Top Throne, cheek pieces off, blinkers, tongue tie go on. Voyage Boss, extra £8 for his first start win. Happy Buddies on debut, 5 trials. Juicy Dragon, Magic Cosmos, Peridot also making their debut, and Shering comes across from having his first 2 starts over at Happy Valley. So of the ones with the good form in the race, Paul, the best drawn of them is Blazing Wukong and also Flowing Riches.
Yeah, look, Flowing Riches is going to be right there. Blazing Wukong got back on debut, so I think he'll probably go back as well. Top Throne, I think he's got blinkers on. He's drawn 11. I think there's no choice but to go forward and see if he can get to the rail there. Voyage Boss is the other one that was trailing when he won on his debut, but he had drew barrier 1 there. He's got barrier 13 to contend with. Both those two have drawn wide. I think they can get across. Sunny Darling's got the claim. Juicy Dragon's shown a lot of speed in his trials, and Flowing Riches, of course, he trialled when he ran 2nd on debut when he was a raging favourite.
As we head now to Tom with the trainer Invincible Ibis, it's Mark Newnham.
Mark, Invincible Ibis, he went agonisingly close first up, but obviously got a little bit cluttered up at the start, didn't he?
Yeah, look, it didn't work out perfectly for him, but you know, he's a horse having his first start, and that can happen. He was a little bit slow away, and then he met a bit of interference at the first turn. One of the riders was suspended, so it just put him in a position that made it virtually impossible to win. He got pretty close, and I was surprised he actually did get so close. He finished the race off well. But this week's challenge is he goes from an inside gate to 14, so it does make it a little bit more difficult.
Does that mean you have to take your medicine with him this week and probably go back?
Look, I'll have a good look at the race yet. A lot of the pace seems to have been drawn out wide, so I'll have a bit of a talk to Luke and come up with a plan.
How's he come on since that first up run?
Yeah, been really happy with him. Yeah, his work's been good. Can't fault him. He's a nice horse. He's going to make a good level here, I think. It's just a matter of getting him started, and hopefully we get a win on the board and give him a rest into next season.
The way he finished off, 1,200 again, was there that temptation to maybe go 14, or were you pretty keen to stay at 12?
Oh no, usually I'd stay at 12 just for this run. Look to probably step up next season after he's had a little bit more racing. But look, he's fit and well. Just got the gate to overcome and a strong field. There's a couple of nice horses there, so it's no gimme. So he's going to have to get it right, to be able to win.
He's right. Mark Newnham is certainly no gimme this race, Paul, because a few of these will go away in their careers if their first runs are anything to go by, including this horse, which is Blazing Wukong. He's crowded up between horses there. Doesn't stop him. He hits the gap hard. He's trialled well since this race, but up to £134 this week.
He's quite a big horse, though. I don't think that's going to worry him too much. He stays in the grade, which is the key. This is his second start, as long as he doesn't have second up itis, which I don't think he will have because he's trialled really well since this. He's taken real improvement out of this race. I think he's going to win this one. I know it's a tough race, but I do like him in this race.
There he is. The further they went, the better he looked in winning on debut. Now, Voyage Boss also won on debut over the 1,200 at Sha Tin. Given a lovely run this day from barrier number 1, as you can see, he's just in behind the pace, and Derek Long waited to come through. He goes up to £134 also, but importantly, doesn't draw one this week, Paul. It's gate 13.
He's going to have to work to get across, and that's what. And as you say, it's quite a good field, this one, and that's the one that's what put me off. Absolute perfect run through on the inside, winning. Did beat co-partner Fleet, who was another first starter in the race. But look, I'm happy to watch him here.
Barrier works against Voyage Boss, but you're not happy to watch Blaze and Wukong. You're in again.
Yeah, I like him. I think this horse is a real horse for the future. So he'll go on top to beat Invincible Ibis. Flying Riches, there's nothing wrong with his debut run. And if Top Throne can get across from that wide draw, which I think he can, blinkers on for the first time, he'll get his opportunity. 2-5-6-3.
And that is race number 5, the first leg of the Triple Trio. The second last group race of the season is race number 6. It is the running of the Group 3, the Premier Cup, and we run it over 1,400 metres. We've got Beauty Eternal at the top of the book, 3-time course and distance winner. First time at 1,400 for Victor the winner. Patch of That is a 5-time course and distance winner. Packing Hermod comes into group company for the first time. Mugen goes from the 12 to the 1,400. And Taj Dragon Paul rounds out the field at his favourite distance.
Yeah, look, Victor the winner up to 1,400 for the first time. He looks the leader in this race. I know he hasn't led his last couple, but he can lead over 1,000, 1,200. He looks the leader. The only other one is co-partner Prance, who likes to go forward. Patch of Theatre from barrier 2, Happy Together from barrier 1. Beauty Eternal gets himself into a nice place. Now, if that all happens, what do they do with Invincible Sage and Packing Hermod? It's only a small field. I thought they just might have to take their time with the two of them. And they can follow each other into the race.
Here is Beauty Eternal, who is on the inside. He was following Red Line and the winner Pray for Mer here. So the first time in group company for Pray for Mer was a winning one. Beauty Eternal, we know, is a Group 1 winner. Can you see him bouncing back to some sort of form this week?
He's got to carry the weight. I've put him in for sure because he's a 3-time course and distance winner. We know he's a class horse. He's a Group 1 winner. So of the two, he's the one I prefer, and he will go in the numbers. Happy Together. Look, he should get his opportunity from barrier 1, but he didn't quite make it in.
And that's a Cheng Cheng Glory, who goes around in the second of the Group 3 races, finish in between the winner and the third horse. Now, this is Invincible Sage last time. This was much more like Invincible Sage, but he carries an extra 14 pounds this week. Patch of Theta runs third. Mugen Knight gets held up a touch. What about Victor the winner, looking to recapture some form, and he's going to this distance for the first time?
You can see him pulling here. I'm sure they'll just let him flow along in front. Invincible Sage did go back here on this day, and it was a good run from him, and he was just beaten. Now, Patch of Theta was slightly slow away, and that obviously sort of didn't help his chances by any stretch of the imagination. From barrier 2, if he jumps and gets right in behind the leader, I think he's going to be really tough to beat. Invincible Sage, you see Helios Express ends up winning the race, but Patch of Theta was making really good ground late as well. So of the two, I'm going to go with Patch of Theta, but I'm not anti-Invincible Sage either. I think he'll run a good race.
And finally, can Packing Hermod measure up to group company? There's no reason, is there, to say that he won't on what he's done in the lower grades? He's
going really well, this horse. The query with him is 7. As I said, there's going to be pace sort of between those 1, 2 and 3. So I can't really see him getting outside the leader with it. If he does do it, he's going to have to work a little bit to get there. As such, I thought Patch of Theta might get first run on him. Look, he's a major player in the race, there's no question. He's the horse in form, he's the young horse coming through the grade. So he is positive, a lot of positivity there for him.
He's definitely in your top 4 though.
Yeah, he is. I'm going to make him the Quinella horse. I'll go with Patch of Theta to beat him for the reason I think he'll get first run on him. Invincible Sage and then Beauty Eternal. It's a good race, this one, but I think Patch of Theta, who's already a Group 3 winner this season. 5, 6, 3, 1.
Adding to that Group 3 for Paul, Patch of Theta for Andre Ratzani and Francis Louis. 1,400 metres is the distance of race number 7. Pretty open race, this one, with a few chances amongst them. We've got Courier Aladdin at the top of the book with a crossover noseband off. Giddy Up No Tongue Tie. Comet Splendido, cheek pieces off, blinkers first time. Circuit Century, blinkers off, Shadow Roll goes on. Prestige Hall number 8 wears a hood. Vivacious Win wears cheek pieces. The Auspicious, just an extra £3 on his win 5 starts ago, and Sunny Q coming up a third behind race rival Do Your Part last time. And Do Your Part, Paul, sits outside of Fun Together.
He led or co-led when he won last start, so there's no reason to change the tactics. Fun Together likes to lead though as well, and he's drawn barrier number 7. I think he can get it to the rail there. Billion 2 was forward in his debut run, looks outstanding. He's drawn a bit wide, but I think there's a slot there if he does decide to go forward. Giddy Up, Prestige Hall won't be far away. Smart Fat Cat was a good debut run from him.
He ran third in that race, did Smart Fat Cat, but Do Your Part victorious last time. We're going to focus on Sunny Q though. Paulie gets in down in the weights. He's the bottom one in the book and he's only got 4 or 5 behind him turning for home.
I thought it was a really good run from Sunny Q. He was held up, lost momentum as well. Once he got balanced up, he comes into this race with a light weight. He meets Do Your Part a lot better in the weights in this race. Do Your Part, he had the perfect run and he did win. It's whether he can go back-to-back now. But look, I thought the run of the race behind the winner was definitely Sunny Q.
It's him down on the inside, chasing home Do Your Part, who does carry some extra weight for that last start win. We move on now to our second replay, Prestige Hall second. He'd set up some big leads in the trials, elected to be ridden with cover this day, and here's Smart Fat Cat, who you mentioned in the speed map. He made up plenty of ground.
He did. It was a good run from him on debut. But of the two, I do prefer Prestige Hall. He's drawn barrier 8, so look, I don't think he'll go forward and lead in this race. Obviously, coming off the pace, he was basically in front here and just was swamped late in the race. So it was a good debut run from him, and look, I think he's not without a chance in this.
It's Lucky My Way who was victorious in that replay. Your top 4 for race 7.
Going to go with Sunny Q with the lightweight. I think he's a horse on the up. Now, Curry Aladdin, he gets a £10 claim. He's only had 3 starts. He's won one of them already. That was off a 52 rating. So with a 59 rating and a £10 claim, he looks well placed. Fun Together from the front and Prestige Hall we talked about. 14,158.
Paul with Andrea Retzani for a race-to-race double across the 6th and the 7th. The final group race of the season is race number 8. It's the running of the Premier Plate. It's over 1,800 metres. We have Straight Aaron, 2-time course and distance winner. Biddy Joy's placed 2 from 3 over the 1,800 metres. Moments in Time comes out of the Champions and Chater, as does Cap Ferrar. Pray for Mer comes into the race after winning the Lion Rock Trophy last time. Another one out of the Champions and Chater is Bundle Award, winning Dragon. He is going to jump from barrier 14, and Kane Generation has placed 2nd up in the past. Pray for Mer led last time, Paul, and it worked a charm.
Now, the problem with Pray for Mer is he's got Sword Point in the race and he likes to lead as well. So those two might have a little bit of a speed duel early, but I thought Pray for Mer might be able to cross him. There's a big run to the first bend, so that's in every horse's favour. California Totality and Winning Dragon can come across together. Ensued can get himself into a good position. Chang Cheng Glory went forward last time. He'll be looking for some cover if he can go forward. And Cape Ferrar, another one that does like to go forward. Bundle Award, he goes back. And Beauty Joy's been running his best races recently from the back.
John Size with 2 runners in the race, Ensued and Bundle Award, and here's John and Tom.
John, 2 runners in the Premier Plate this weekend. Ensued the first of them, but things didn't really go to plan from the start in the Champions and Chater last start.
No, he had no luck last start, but and the race didn't pan out well for him. But normally he's trouble-free sort of horse. He finds a position and normally puts himself in a good place. But on the weekend it might be different. If he gets a good start and gets into a first 5 or something, he'll probably run very well.
Last time out, obviously, got caught wide as well. How's he come through that run?
He seems okay. It didn't do much sort of damage to him. He's done well since then, and he's continued to train well. So it didn't seem to make much difference to him when he come home. He handled it quite well.
Is he a horse that in his races needs that constant sort of momentum to keep going?
Yeah, well, he's a pretty one-paced horse. That's pretty obvious, and he needs to be in a position to win. But he has the ability to run well and win his races when the opportunity presents itself. So he's a fairly consistent horse, and he's up to these horses. He runs well amongst them. You know.
Bundle Award, he was in the same race as well. He ran 5th. I thought he looked to be doing his best work late at the line.
Yeah, well, he's been pretty consistent also. You know, albeit he gets back in the field a little bit, so he's somewhat disadvantaged in that respect. But he seems to be pretty honest with his finishing effort. It's always there, and usually runs well as expected. You know.
Both they trialled in the same trial out the back. Happy with how they've come through that?
Yeah, they seem okay. They've after the trial, they seem to be in pretty good shape. They've continued to train well, even though it's towards the end of the season. I think they're still in pretty good shape.
That's John Size. There's plenty of angles through that interview, Paul, leading up to this race on Sunday. So we'll jump to the Lion Rock Trophy, where you mentioned Pray for Mer. Has Sword Point engaged in the race this week? He wasn't there this day.
No, he wasn't, and that's how he managed to win. Look, Encountered's out of form at the moment. Beauty Joy, likewise. You can get him on his day. Carrying Generation is still sort of building up. So the one I'm going to take out of this race is Chang Cheng Glory. He does meet Pray for Mer better at the weights here. You can see him coming along the outside and actually got his nose in front. But Pray for Mer had that easy lead. I don't think he's going to have that easy lead coming into this race. That's why I prefer Chang Cheng Glory over Pray for Mer.
He has been one of your old favourites too along the way.
Yeah, he definitely has, yeah. So he goes in.
He's going on a bit California Totality. This is 2 starts ago. He's run on the all-weather last time, didn't have any luck, and he pulled up lame after the race. 1650 to 1800, and he won't mind the step up in trip at all.
No, and he's got the really light weight. I think that's the key for him. He's 115 pounds. Lexi Bedell might just a little bit overweight on him. But in saying that, look, the horse really fights. He loves to scrap, this horse, and he's a horse. He's a real likeable horse because he tries really hard every time.
He does. Is he going to try hard enough to win this race?
I think he can with the light weight. It's all about the weights for me, and that's why we'll put him on top with that light weight. Chang Cheng Glory, and then for second, another really honest horse who's always in for the scrap. Cape Ferrar was a good run from him last time, and Bundle Award didn't have too much luck when running on over the 2,400 metres last start. 11, 2, 7 and 10.
Paul going California Totality to bow out the group racing for the season with a victory. Race number 9, and this the running of the Lapis Lazuli Handicap, and it's a Class 3 over the 1,200 metres. Bundle of Charm, 7-day backup. Pacifiers off. Celestial Hero wears cheek pieces. Super Infinity held up last time. We've got Super Joy and Fun with cheek pieces going on. Wide draw again for Tia Fly. Beauty Crescent wears blinkers. Justifying has the hood off, and Jumbo Treasure is coming up into Class 3. He did win over the distance of 1,200 metres 3 starts ago, and he's a joint leader here, Paul.
Well, he led all the way that day, but Justifying's in the race, and look, he's led 2 of his 3 starts over 1,000, so I think they'll probably share the lead together. Super Joy and Fun is always a front run now. Master Champion set up some really strong sectionals last time, but that was over 14. He's coming back to the 12. Tia Fly went forward on his debut run here. Thought Celestial Hero didn't race too badly on his debut and get his opportunity. Super Infinity was unlucky last start. Savvy Warrior should get the race run to suit. Bundle of Charm and Beauty Crescent should go back.
Here's our first replay, and it is Super Infinity running 5th, but there isn't a whole lot of room for him down there on the inside as the race progresses, Paul. So a bona fide excuse for him here, and he's come up with barrier number 1 this week. Yeah, look, he's one of these horses that's won off a really low rating, and he keeps going up in the ratings because of his consistency. Now, he has run second off 66. He's got to do it here off 68, but he's showed that he's more than capable, you know, of sort of defying that ratings without too much room there. So, look, yeah, I think he's a good chance. Jumbo Treasure up without a win next to his name last start. Do you take that out of the equation because he has won over the 1,200 at Sha Tin, albeit Class 4? Yeah, I think he's going to get his opportunity here. Once again, Jumbo Treasure is going to be right on the pace, which would be a good place. He's got to come across from 12, but I think he can. Coming back to Sha Tin, I think, is probably the key. Now, he did win from barrier 13 in Class 4. He all but won this race, didn't he? Was just collared right on the post. Was by New Power, who also runs at Happy Valley again on Wednesday night. Beauty Crescent, still a maiden. He's earned heaps of money since he's been here through his consistency. Blinkers go back on. Led in this trial down the straight 1,000. Trial well, but still has a maiden class next to his name.
He's got barrier number 10, so if he does go forward, but there is a bit of pace in this race underneath him, he could get trapped wide. So that's why I thought they might take the safer option and go back with him. Look, as you can see, he did lead here over 1,000, but this was a soft trial. It's a lot different on race day.
Who's going in for the 9th?
I'm going to go with the Super Infinity. I think from barrier number 1, he's going to get the best run in the race. So he's on top to beat Jumbo Treasure. Sophie Warrior's only had 3 starts. He's on the improve. And Celestial Hero, another one has only had the 1 start with cheek pieces on from a good draw, barrier 6. He'll go in on a minor line. 4, 13, 14, 2.
And that is race number 9, the first leg of the late treble. This is race number 10, and there's a few chances in this race. It lines up the following way. 1,600 metre Class 3. Talabajil has the hood coming off. He's on the class drop. Jumbo Legends won 2 of his last 3, but his best form is at the Valley. Pope Cody, wide draw again with All My Faith, steps up in trip. Flash Current, first time Class 3 and also over 1,600 metres. Got Morgan Success, plays 2 from 4 course and distance. Illuminous, the blinkers off and the visor goes on. And California Bay strikes a wider draw here. Paul, and who lands where?
Well, I thought Frantang, he's the likely leader in the race. He likes to go forward and lead. Yellowfin's led in the past, but the last couple of starts he hasn't led. California Bay went forward last time, and I think from his draw they might push on and without too much anticipated pace in the race, he can get there. Magnificent 9, Flash Current, Prestige Ricky, good run from him last time. The rest all tend to go backwards. So that's why I think there won't be too much pace in this one.
And we're going to one of those horses at the back now. Pope Cody's the horse. Tom with his jockey, Jimmy Orman.
James Pope Cody lining up for his 4th run here, and he steps to 1,600 metres off the back of a couple of good runs last start from wide draws, but he's got another one again. So your thoughts on him this weekend?
Yeah, Pope Cody, like you said, drawn tricky, but he's a horse that gets back, so it's probably not the end of the world. Ideally, it would have been nice to get a little bit better and sort of land 3rd pair probably, but you know, we've got that barrier, we've got to deal with it. Hopefully they go along at a good clip. We'll get back off that speed and hopefully be hitting the line over the top, but he gets to a more favourable trip here, which will suit him a lot better. The 1,600 metres, he's a horse that 1,600 metres and beyond is going to suit him. So yeah, looking forward to his next assignment, and I think, you know, with those 3 runs under his belt, should be setting him up nicely for this mile run.
Sometimes horses sort of struggle to go from 14 to 1,600 first up, or for their first start at 1,600 metres, but he's shown he can do that at an extended 1,600 in Australia, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's shown he's done that before. The trip's no drama. It's going to suit him better, like I said. So just need conditions to suit. You know, maybe a little bit of giving the track will help him, and a nicely run race, a race run at a good clip, which you know we generally get here in Hong Kong. So I think if that happens and we can get the right card into the race, he's going to be a good chance. You know, the barrier just getting a little bit too far back is my only concern. But if I am further back than what I'd like, I just have to get into that running line and let him track into the race. He's got a nice, powerful finish, and I think you'll see a better turn of foot on Sunday over the mile.
You obviously had experience with him in Australia. How do you compare him physically and mentally from when you partnered him in wins like that at Toowoomba over the 1,600?
Yeah, very similar. Very similar. He's starting to switch on in his work now. In Australia, you never saw you know, his 1,350 metre run at Doomben one day. He got beat 8-9 lengths. You know, so and then come out into a mile race after that and looked pretty good. So I think he's a different horse over the mile. Physically, he looks the same. So he's been gelded obviously since he came here, but he still looks the same. Might have lost that little bit of colty condition, but he still looks quite good to me. And yeah.
That is Jimmy Orman talking Pope Cody. Jumbo Legend Paul is a last start winner, but it's all been about Happy Valley for him so far. He's been versatile. He's done a great job. He's won all sorts of distances, but the distance has all been at the smaller circuit.
Yeah, 7 starts tells a story at Sha Tin for just 1 minor placing. So prefer him at the Valley. He's going to carry the big weight from a wide draw as well. But the wide draw probably isn't the negative because he gets back anyway, but probably the course is more the negative for him.
It is a Jumbo Legend. We move on to Flash Current, who is a last start winner. This was down in grade, so it's his first time in this company. Zach Purton sticks with the horse. 1,400 metres, jumps to 1,600 metres here.
Looks like it won't be a problem for him the way he races, though. He's now won over 12 and 14. He's drawn barrier number 6. Not that too much pace in the race, so he'll be slightly closer in the run, I think, from that barrier draw. He's showing a good turn of foot here in his races as well. Thought this was a strong win, beating riding together. So, look, I think he's definitely one of the major players.
Flash Current. Next up, we'll have a look at Morgan's Success, who's had a quiet trial since this race. He ended up running second. Good draw this week. Barrier number 3 and Magnificent 9 has only had the 3 starts at 1,600 metres for a third and 2 fourths, so he hasn't been too far away.
He's only a one-time winner, Magnificent 9, but he's never far away. He's always one of those horses that gets you next time. He's found quite a strong race here, I thought, but like he'll run a race for you. He's one you could put into wider exotics. Morgan Success, he looks like he's getting there. He's looked good in his races. He's now putting together a couple of placings, so he's definitely one of the major players as well.
And we've added a replay because you're going to make a case for this horse. It's not Illuminous, who runs 12th, but it is Prestige Ricky. First time at the mile, he runs 3rd, and there he's in those white, pink and red colours, just trying to clear some traffic turning for home.
Look, it looks an open race, this one. I was looking for a bit of value in it, and I think this horse is on the improve. Ricky used the trainer here. You could see him getting out into the clear and really finishing off this race strongly. Now, Gentleman Legacy wins the race. He came out and ran really well. He ran second in the race. Came out and ran really well recently as well. So the form looks pretty good. And the winner, Torbian Prince, sort of stole a little bit off the front as well. So from where Prestige Ricky came from, I thought it was a good run from him.
You've sold it well.
Yeah, we'll put him on top there, and hopefully we just get a double-figure price now about him. Morgan Success, Flash Current. I'm going to put California Bay. He's not going to be at a double-figure price. I think he's an improver. He's a horse who's got a little bit of early speed, so he can put himself right on the pace. Each way about the 11 for me in this race. So 11, 10, 8, 13.
Bit of value hunting for Paul. Prestige Ricky for Jerry Chow, and Ricky, you to win race number 10. Race number 11 now, and it's a good race to finish the day. We run a Class 3 race over the 1,400 metres here, and there's some talented runners going around in this. Gorgon, wide draw again. Huge Wave gets a better draw as he comes back in trip. First starters Panacea and Limbs Shivano. Flying Fortress wears a crossover noseband. Dazzling Fit, South Star, both very promising. Star Satter's a last start winner down in grade. Super Express, 3 starts, a win and a couple of placings, and Seamus Storm is a last start winner in Class 4 over the 1,400 metres. A leader here, Paul, of Super Express.
Well, there's no clear leader in the race. So I think Super Express from barrier 4, was on the pace last start, and it was a really strong pace. So I wonder if he'll try and dictate it. South Star trailed last time and won, and I think he can trail again. Star Satter was another one that went forward. Now, he's drawn wide, but I think he can get across because a lot of horses like to go back in this race. Huge Wave will be close up. Lim Shivano, Dazzling Fit likes to sit midfield, and the other ones I think will be towards the back. Seamus Storm came from the back last time when he did win.
Tom's back with Angus Chung, who's looking to win on Star Satter and make it back-to-back victories.
Angus Star Satter, he was pretty impressive, I thought, last time out. How did you see the performance?
Yeah, last time dropped Class 4, we up the distance and changed to Sha Tin. I performed very well, and the barrier definitely helped him as well. He always gave me a good finish, even 1,000 meters at the beginning, and 1,200 meters in Happy Valley. That 1,400 meters, that win, it doesn't surprise me.
This week you've obviously got a wider draw barrier 11, which is looking like it's certainly going to make it trickier than the circumstances he had last start.
Yeah, I think it will be a challenge for him, especially the horse is quite strong this field, and then the barrier didn't help. So hopefully he can finish very well like last time.
What about, he had the hood off last time out, he'd worn the hood in all 3 of his early starts. What was the rationale or the reason for the hood coming off last start?
We just seeing the horse in 1,200 meters a bit slow out, a bit slow to catch up the field, trying to do a little bit different, but everything just work. We're trying to do the exactly same thing. Not sure, maybe in the future, I think this horse will be a bit further distance. But for now, we just stay in 1400 meters.
I know when we interviewed you a couple of weeks ago, you were getting close to that 100 winners for the claim, and you're only 4 wins away from that now. Do you fancy your chances of getting that done in the last month of the season?
I was still trying. 4 wins sounds like a field meeting will be a bit challenging, but I think I can do it. Yeah, so yeah, hopefully I can do it in this season.
That is Angus talking Star Satter. He's going to have to improve, Paul. He was good last time, but need to be better this week because he bumps into horses like this one, Dazzling Fit. He's untested in this grade, though, but he's beaten Fun Together and Max Q at his last 2, and he can't have done any more than that.
Okay, he's a good horse, this one, I think. He's just taken a while just to come right. He's now won his last 2. He's only had the 4 starts in total. I like the way when he flattens out, he just really stretches out. The guy, I know it's a real tough race, but I think he can win once again. I think he can do the hat trick and then look at maybe going to the 4-year-old series next year.
Okay. Paul spotted the path for Dazzling Fit. David Eustace can relax. Super Express is another one, Paul, that's done a good job. He ran second, had his chance here, however, just was beaten by a better one on the day. South Star, similar. Nice horse, good job.
Look, South Star definitely goes in. Super Express, I just don't know what they're going to do from that barrier there, from barrier number 4. I thought they might try and lead with him. Look, as you say, he did have every chance here, but he kept fighting strongly. He's obviously a really nice horse. So he was right on the cusp. I had to leave one out, and in the end it was him, but maybe to my peril. I wouldn't be surprised if he won.
That is Super Express. One more to have a look at. That's Seamus Storm, who won last time from back in the field. Poor Max Q's been in these replays. He's seen a few of the tails of these, and he sees Seamus Storm, who's just keeping him in a pocket here.
Yeah, look, Seamus Storm did win nicely. So, look, he's going to go in as well. The only thing is the pace in the race might not be there to suit him, but he has got a good turn of foot here. And look, he ended up winning the race. So the horse down the outside's come out and won again as well, hasn't he? Me Time. Only You won, didn't it? Did it win? It did. No, it got beaten on the post, didn't it?
Yes, ran second.
Ran second, but it still ran well. That was the point with that horse. But look, in saying that, he does go in the numbers for me.
So Dazzling Fit wins this, then you'll be tweeting, there's your Derby winner for next season. Is that how it goes?
Won't be doing that until March next year. But look, he's a nice horse, and he is going the right places. So he goes in. Star Satter, he was good to me last time, and I think he's got, since he stepped up to 1400 metres at Sha Tin, that's the key. And with the pace in the race, he's drawn wide. I think he can get across outside the leaders, South Star and Seamus Storm. And obviously the next one would have been Super Express. 6, 8, 7 and 12.
Gee, there's some S's in the last race, but not the winner for Paul. Dazzling Fit on top to take the last at Sha Tin. 11 races, last group races of the season, and we go at 4 o'clock.